views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready, 'cause it's the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
I don't know how to switch.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks, live from Las Vegas. I am so excited about my guest today. He is just such a legend. He's an amazing ex-pro wrestler, an actor, comedian. I mean, everything. This man has literally, I can't even imagine how much stuff he has gone through in his life, and all the stories he must have. And I am just so excited to have the legendary Mr. Hank Garrett on. So, hi, Hank. How are you?
Very well, thank you. With that introduction, my God, I'd want to open my mouth.
No, but you are absolutely amazing. And, I mean, you've had such an incredible life and incredible career.
Well, thank you.
And you've gone through so much, but you ended up on top. And I just think a lot of people could really look up to you and learn a lot from you. And I just think you're an amazing person. So I'm really excited to have you on.
Terrific. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, so let's get right into it.
Absolutely.
Actually, let's start with the beginning, because that's actually kind of what your book is like, too, which we'll get into a little bit. I'm very excited about your new book. But you actually grew up in Harlem, correct?
Yes, 111th between Park and Lexington,
Yeah.
the heart of Harlem.
And, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. I spent most of my life, my young life, on the street. My folks were immigrants from Russia, and they had a fruit and vegetable push cart. I was born very late in life to them, and they just had no time for me because they were just trying to make enough money to live on.
Right.
And so I spent a lot of time living on the street with a bunch of other kids. And I slept in cardboard boxes at times.
Wow.
And Sammy Davis Jr., well, there was a gentleman that was my mom's customer. He bought fresh fruits and vegetables from my mom. And she was crying to him one day, and he happened to be the mayor of Harlem.
Oh, wow.
And she was crying to him that I was always in trouble. He came to me. I was standing on a street corner smoking with a bunch of other hoodlums. And he said, your mom wants me to take you out. And first of all, he knocked a cigarette out of my mouth, and I didn't know who this man was. And I was going to throw a shot at him. And two huge mountains came toward me, his bodyguards. And he said, I'm taking you out tonight. Now, in New York, if you say, I'm taking you out,
right.
I'm going to kill you. And I said, my mother wants me executed. And he said, do you have a suit? And I said, yeah, I have a suit. He said, I want you to wear a suit tonight. We're going to go out. And he said, but before you put the suit on, take a bath. And I went, whoa, I hate this guy a lot. And he took me that evening to the Apollo Theater. It was a black theater in Harlem, 125th Street. And he took me there to meet Sammy Davis Jr.
Wow.
He brought me to Sammy's dressing room, which was astounding because there were hundreds of people waiting to meet Sammy in person. And Sam was waiting for me. And he said, hey, how you doing, man? And I said, okay. He said, listen, you're a pretty tough guy, right? I was 12 years old. And he said, all you're going to wind up with is a lot of scars, bruises, and broken bones. And he said, you're either going to go to prison or you're going to die. I said, that's it? That's what is up there for me? He said, if you don't change, yeah. I had a pistol in my pocket.
Wow.
At 12, I was carrying a 25 caliber pistol.
Wow.
Oh, dear God. And so he got me a job with an all-black orchestra. I was a band boy, and I said, what's a band boy? And the band leader was named Lucky Millender. And he said, here's what you do, my man. He said, you take the charts to each one of the musicians, put the charts out in their proper position with the chair. He said, at the end of the gig, you just fold all that stuff back up. Make sure you put them in the right books and put it away. I did, and we were playing, they were playing at a Hotel Teresa in Harlem. At the end of the date, the gig, he said, did a good job, man. He said, and here. And he paid me, and he gave me $50.
Yeah.
And that was more money than I'd ever seen in my life. And I said, whoa. And he said, no, get yourself some new kicks, shoes. My shoes were torn to shreds.
Yeah.
And I went out and I bought a pair of Florsheim shoes for $15 and gave the 35 to my mom.
Oh.
And that's more money that she'd ever seen at one time. And it went on from there. And it was, I'm speechless even today. And Sammy Davis Jr. became my angel.
Yeah.
Well, 20 some odd years later, I was appearing at the Sands in Las Vegas with Tony Bennett. We had the same manager. And so I opened, and opening, there's Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, and Sammy Davis sitting there. And after the show, Sammy came up to me and said, you're a funny cat. I said, well, thank you. He said, yeah, but you look so familiar, man. Where do I know you from? And I said, Sam, I was the kid that you said was going to go to prison or die. And he said, that's you? I said, yes. And we both stood there and cried. We just sobbed, holding on to each other. And so that's how it all started for me.
It's a pretty good way to get into it, though. My goodness. I mean, what a legend.
Yes. And it went on from there. I became a police officer for a minute and a half, because as I was a cop for a couple of months, a friend of mine whose wife was Nat Hiken's secretary, and Nat Hiken created a number of television shows, and he created Car 54, Where Are You? And he got me the audition. And Nat Hiken, I sat right next to him, and he said, okay, you're Ed Nicholson. I said, oh, no, I'm Hank Garrett. He said, just the kind of dummy I'm looking for. He said, this is about a police force of cops who are so wrong. He said, and you're the one that I'm looking for who's a musclehead, standing in front of a mirror and constantly staring at yourself and flexing. And I was on Car 54, and I became one of the stars of the show.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely incredible, your whole career. And you were also a very famous wrestler, correct? I mean, how did you get into that? I mean, that's a complete 180.
I was wrestling when I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
I didn't wrestle in high school because the school I went to was called a juvenile prison. And but I started wrestling. I went to a gym to work out, and I became a power lifter. I met a man who was the Olympic champ, and his name was John, and he came up and he said, hey, listen, I know a guy who manages wrestlers. He says, in your size, you'd be perfect. I was 16, and I started wrestling, but they said need to get a license, but you can't get a license until you're at least 21. So they lied about my age, and they got me my license. And here I am wrestling as Hank Daniels, the Minnesota farm boy. I'd never been to Minnesota. I never saw a farm. And I was a pro wrestler and traveling around the country, wrestling professionally. So it was kind of amazing.
No, that's so cool. I mean, it's kind of it's really incredible how your life has like all these like chance moments. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess that's just kind of life in general, but I mean, yours is really big chance moments that change your whole life completely. And I mean, amazing,
Yes.
legendary life you've had.
In fact, I go to prisons. My manager has set this up. And we went to a juvenile prison. And juvenile, I'm talking about children that are 11, from 11 to 17, that are in prison.
Yeah.
And I talk to them, and I tell them that God sent me an angel by the name of Sammy Davis Jr. And there's an angel out there for each and every one of you, but you've got to be able to listen to his voice. You've got to listen with your ears and your heart. And I got a letter from each one of those kids saying, Mr. Garrett, Sammy Davis Jr. was your angel. You're our angel.
Oh.
So that also had a tremendous, oh God, a feeling that it's hard to describe.
Of course. No, I just, it's amazing everything you've done. And what's so cool is you still to this day give back. And I think that's such an important thing. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why you are successful is you also give back. And you do help the troubled youth. And that's such an important thing because a lot of these kids, they never have a chance. They're just, their whole family's criminals or whatnot. They're orphan. I mean, a number of different reasons, and they never even have a chance. So when there's actual people that will step up and help them and show them that there's a better way, it's a life-changing thing for them. And I think it's amazing that you've had it done, so you're helping other kids do that.
Yes. In fact, I don't know. I went from being a tough guy to finding God and realizing God gave me a gift, and the gift was not for me to hold on to, but to pass it on.
Yeah.
And I raise funds for disabled American veterans. When I do autograph shows of the different movies and television shows that I've done, the proceeds go to the disabled vets and the wounded warriors.
That's very
I
cool.
also, thank God, I volunteered to go to Vietnam, and I performed front line with these kids that were fighting and not knowing why they were there.
Yeah.
But country called on them, and they went. And so I was there 3 times,
Wow.
and I paid it for it myself. I just had to be there to do that. So anyway, I've got to stop talking about myself.
No, please. That's the reason we had this whole show, is for you to talk.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've got a book coming out on the 15th.
Yes. I know. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about it because obviously you've had quite the fascinating life, surely one of the most interesting lives I've ever heard of. And so your new book, From Harlem Hoodlum to Hollywood Heavyweight, which just explains it all right in the book title. So what actually made you decide to write this book?
No, it's my manager and I sat and wrote. I just kept writing, and she kept asking questions and filling in all the blanks because I went through a lot of stuff. I didn't think was a lot of stuff when I was doing all that, but we got it down on paper, and people who have read the book, a couple of advance copies, and they all said that this has got to be a movie. So I said, who would you like to play you? I said, well, Robert Redford. And they said, no, you can't, because Redford was your enemy in the fight scene in 3 Days of the Condor. I said, oh, that's right. Of course I was. I was just joking. So, yeah. It's, I'm truly blessed.
Absolutely.
Truly.
And so are you planning on making it into a movie?
Once the book is really out, because it's going to have its international debut on the 15th of this month.
Yes.
And I've got one of the most incredible publicists, a guy named Harlan Ball, and he's amazing, just amazing. And I'm speaking to you because of him.
Yes, he's an amazing guy.
So we're hoping to. Once the book is out, and it'll depend on Harlan to contact people who are looking for books to turn into film.
Yeah. I think it'd be a huge success. I think people are fascinated by you. I mean, first of all, you're such a legend anyways, but then when people actually learn about your story and how you got to where you are, I think it just really is so fascinating. And once again, I think so inspiring, and I think we need more of that because right now there's just so much negativity and hopelessness in this world, and I think we need to show that people have gone through so much tragedy and struggles and just whatnot through their lives, but they found a way out and they are doing good things and helping others, and I think that's such an important thing to shine a light on it, you know?
Absolutely. You're right. Because I remember when I was on the street, no one offered any help because they were all in the same situation. Yeah. And meeting Sammy Davis Jr., how it changed my life completely. Yeah. I didn't want to be a bad guy anymore. And so, boy, yeah. But now the interesting thing, a guy approached me, and he said, I'm a big fan of yours, and I make scented candles and cologne. He said, when I saw 3 Days of the Condor, I said, oh my God, this is truly a tough guy. Because he also saw me in Serpico, where playing a tough guy.
Right.
So I have a cologne now, and it's called the Original Tough Guy.
That's so cool.
Yes, and it's a wonderful scent, and so that's up. People can get the cologne as well.
Where could you get the cologne at?
Well, they can contact me because I don't have his contact information in front of me, but it's hank.garrett@yahoo.com.
Okay, cool.
The book, they'll be able to order that from Amazon, and I will be able to give, if anybody's interested, where they can get the cologne.
Yeah, I that's so cool. I mean, hardly anyone has a cologne, so, and what a perfect name, the Original Tough Guy. Did you actually get to pick out the scent, or did they already have some ideas, or how did that work?
I'm not sure. My other phone is ringing.
Oh, no, you're fine. Don't worry.
Oh, no, it's okay. My manager grabbed it.
There you go. So,
So
but
I didn't hear. I have a little bit of a hearing problem.
oh, you're
That's
fine.
also a souvenir from the ring, after being hit so many times because I am a grand master of martial arts and I had a lot of competition fights. So it's left its mark.
Oh no, you're fine. Don't worry about it at all.
Oh,
I was
thank
just
you.
asking how you actually what was the actual process of getting the cologne? Did you actually get to pick the scent, or did someone else pick it for you? Did they have ideas already?
No, he did the whole thing.
Wow.
His name is Scott Travis, and Scott was he just came over and he said, "Hey, I've made this cologne, and take a look at it." And it says Hank Garrett, the original tough guy.
That's so cool.
And I went, "Whoa!" And I smelled it, and it was fantastic. And people that have been buying it, and that too, all the proceeds will go to disabled vets
That's
and wounded
amazing.
warriors.
That's such a
So
cool.
far, I've raised over 60,000.
Oh my goodness. No, that's such a cool thing that you support the vets and the wounded warriors. Unfortunately, I don't think they get as much attention anymore for whatever reason. So I think that's amazing that you are still supporting them, because there's so many, and I mean, there's so many new ones too that people don't even think of. So that's
Absolutely.
amazing that you're doing that.
Well, it started. I went to the hospitals to entertain the vets, and I thought, what can I do to help? Because these guys are going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Most of them will not find a job.
Yeah.
How can I help? And so started with the autograph shows, and now it'll be the proceeds of the book. Anything I can do to help, even though I'm not a rich man, but I still, God bless me, and I have to pay for it.
That's so cool. No, I think you're amazing, and I mean, what a life you've had. Your career is just unheard of. Out of everything you've done, I know this has to probably be a hard question, but out of everything you've done as far as acting wise, what was your favorite role you've had?
I think Condor, 3 Days
Yeah,
of the Condor, with Robert Redford and Faye Dunaway.
yeah.
I recently was flown to Vegas, and I was given an award, and it's called the Best Fight Scene in Film Ever.
Wow.
So that's quite thrilled about that.
Of course. I mean, what an honor. That's amazing.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
And I'm sure you have so many behind the scenes stories and whatnot, but do you have one that maybe you've never told before, or one that really sticks out to you?
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh yes.
cool. Let's
I
hear
got a, I
it.
got a, I got a call for a western.
Oh,
Now, at the audition, the guy said to me, "Do you ride? You never say no as an actor." When I said, "Are you kidding?" And he said, "Okay." So they immediately assumed that was a yes. And I'm gonna do this movie. I can't use the name or the star because of what happened. Uh, I get a wrangler gets me a horse. I get on the horse, and of course, I get on the horse the wrong way, and I'm facing the horse's rear end. And the wrangler said, "You expect to ride that horse into town that way?" I said, "I'm riding the horse whatever direction he wants to go in." So they helped me out, and that played. It was a quick scene that I go into a bar, and I have a fight scene with the star, and then I call him out a couple of days later, and we're going to continue the fight scene. So I'm ready, and action. They said, "Oh, before the action, he said, bring out, and they mentioned the star's name. And I went, oh, I have a fight scene with him. He said, yeah. They have to bring him out? Two guys are dragging the star.
Oh, wow.
And he's dead drunk.
Hey.
So now, he said, action. They let go. He's standing there. And his line is, I thought I told you to leave town. And I said, nobody tells me. And he said, and now his line goes, and he falls, boom, flat on his face. And I'm standing there, I still have a fit. My hand is up like a fist. And the director goes, cut. Hank, why did you hit him? I said, I hit him? And they looked down and you heard, fast asleep.
Oh, my gosh.
They pick him up. They take him back to his dressing room and said, Hank, are you going to be available any other day this week? Then they canceled the show. They just wrapped it because they could not get a complete scene with him where he wasn't drunk.
That's crazy.
So that was one of the stories that I really don't mention his name at all.
Oh, I really wish you could. That's so crazy. I know you hear about like all the stories and stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they were like that. And so I can't imagine how it was for you to work with these people, and then like it's just kind of a letdown for some of them, I'm sure, unfortunately.
I know. So that's a kind of a small glimpse of the stuff that wound up being my life.
Yeah. And, you know, out of everyone you've worked with, who was your, like, favorite person you've actually worked with?
Oh, boy. I really don't know. I know I've been put here for a reason.
Yeah.
And following what I think is the reason, I'm particularly involved with children. I lost my son on a motorcycle accident.
I'm so sorry.
And I just see some of the kids that experience the stuff that I have experienced just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're right. There's so many people that don't seem to care.
Yeah.
You know, why are you doing what you're doing? And if you had, in fact, we're hoping to open a place called Hankster's Kids. It'll be a place where they could come to after school, play games, learn martial arts, questions with homework. We're going to have, this is what we're hoping for, but college students that looking for extra credit that will come and work with kids. They'll be paid, but I want to get the kids off the street.
Yeah.
And I want to see what's happening in Chicago and New York.
Yeah.
Wow. Why? Why? Because no one cares.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a really incredible thing. When I can only imagine how much work that's going to be to get that open and stuff, and lots of backers and everything. But do you have an idea of when you want that to be open and everything?
No, not really. It's you know, it's another dream I have.
I think that'd be such an amazing thing that we could really, really use. And I mean, I can imagine you'd have so many supporters with that.
That would be wonderful. Wow. And when the book is out, I would love to send you an autographed copy.
Oh, I'd be honored. That'd be so cool.
Terrific.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. So that comes out the 15th, right? We're almost there, just a little over a week away.
Yes.
That's amazing. You had to be so excited.
I'm sorry.
I said you have to be so excited for that.
I am extremely, as I, chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
I really want I want to get it out to as many people as possible, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. No, I think this is like the perfect time for it to come out too, and I really think a lot of people will be very interested in this, and I really hope someone will pick it up and do a movie about that too, because that would be such a cool thing, and I think really, like I said, a lot of people could learn from you and everything you went through. You have just an amazing life. With so much struggle, but so much success too, and I think that's a really, really incredible thing we could all look up to.
Thank you so very much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to get the word out.
Oh, absolutely! I'm so honored that you wanted to be on here. It's just so cool, everything you've done and everything you're still doing and helping people and still giving back. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you so very much.
And where can people follow you and keep up to date with everything and get the book on November 15th, which is so exciting?
I'll be sending you a copy as soon as I have one to send.
I love that.
Thank you.
So people can get it on Amazon?
At Amazon, absolutely.
Okay, cool. And do you have any social media or anything or website people can keep up to date with you?
Yeah. Well, if you could hold on a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. If you could hold on a sec, I'll put my manager on. Her name is Deanna Marie Smith.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Hi, is this Corey?
Yes.
Oh, great, out of Las Vegas. And from one of your website, I've said that you deal with troubled kids and things like that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you got one here, a big kid, Hank, who's he told you about his Hankster's kids, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay, Corey. So the best way to reach him is through me because it's DMRW. It stands for DM, Deanna Marie, my name. RW, Red Warrior, and then the name Productions, all spelled out with an S at the end, at gmail.com.
Okay. And does he have any websites or anything where we could put it like at the bottom of the screen so people can see everything, or any links that you want? If you do.
Absolutely. His website, we just redid it, and it's called hankgarrett.biz, B-I-Z, and it's a strange story why he did have COM and all the others, but this one is a new one. It's hankgarrett.biz, and it's just done. It's been redone.
Okay. All right, perfect. Then we'll put that up here so then people can see that, and they can hopefully go on his website and support him. So that'd be really cool.
Oh, and then, but did he ask you about? Could we get a copy of the interview?
Yeah, it will be up in about probably 48 hours, and we'll send all the information. Now that I have your email, I'll send the information to you, and we're also going to send it to Harlem. So.
Oh, thanks so much, Cole. I'll put Hank back on with you.
Of course, no problem. Thank you. It's nice talking to you.
Say hi. I'm back.
Hi. Okay. Cool. All right. So then, so I have your website up here. So then we'll just get right into it, and we'll wrap it up. And I'll say the website so then people can go to it. Okay.
Terrific.
All right, cool. All right. All right, so people can follow you and keep up to date with everything at hankgarrett.biz. You just restarted a website and got your new website updated. So that's so cool that people can keep up to date, and I'm sure it has all your links and everything. So that'll be very exciting.
Wonderful.
And I really can't thank you enough for being on. I think you're just amazing, and your whole life is so cool, and how dedicated you are to what you do and to supporting people and helping people. And I just really hope we get more people like you in the world. And thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember, never give up, always believe, and you will achieve. Go and support him in any single way you can. He's such an amazing guy. Please go to his website, hankgarrett.biz, and you can keep up to date there and get his book on November 15th. So I'm so excited for that. And thank you so much again for being on, Hank.
Stay well and God bless.
Thank you, you too, sir. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.